Cheerio, welcome into TexAgs Rewind presented by T-Mobile. They want to remind you folks, all of you folks, everybody, you people, everybody, to visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to learn how you can get value and coverage with T-Mobile. So it's the Pro Day edition of TexAgs Rewind. They had Pro Day going on during the show, so I got a question for everybody. I want everybody involved. If you had to do the 40 today, what would you do it in?
495.
Whatever. Tell the truth.
5'3".
Like 5'7". What do you think?
5 flat.
5 flat. Dalton?
I don't know.
He doesn't know. Eric, you're in cross country.
Yeah, if I go sub 5, I'll be a very happy man.
God, there's a lot of fast people here.
You should do that.
Nick in the back.
5 on a good day.
All of you guys are a bunch of liars. The only one telling the truth is Dalton. He doesn't know because he's not going to do it. In fact, we're going to do it now, other than Eric. Eric, I think, can probably beat. He's on the track team. We're going to do it, and you're going to sign a waiver so we don't get sued. We're going to see how close you get to sub 5. I think if I did it today, before I tore my hamstring, I think I'm 5'4", 5'5". But whatever. All right, so Pro Day.
Don't sell yourself so short, David.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Eric's such a nice guy. These guys, not so much. All right, so during the go hour, we did talk some spring football. Love that. Logan Lee came on, and we talked about this run here A&M's having in the NIT. Plus, we had Steve Forbes on, his buddy, the head coach at Wake Forest. He joined the show. Great conversation there. And, of course, Pat Henry, track and field coach, was here on a Tuesday. It's TexAgs Rewind. What I wanted to bring up was an article I found that says Alabama Crimson Tide quarterback Bryce Young has a really long list of things he wants to improve on. Okay, the theme of the article was mostly about chemistry with his guys coming out of the huddle and whatnot. I don't want to do it today. We'll probably do it, if not this week, next week. I do want to kind of break down the SEC quarterbacks, who you think where A&M ranks and where, Bryce Young, I think, has got to be at the top of the list. He's a Heisman Trophy winner, and they lost in the final game, but they're still, he's only going to be better in my opinion. But all that being said, when you look at the A&M's quarterback situation, to me, I don't know where it ranks in the pecking order, but it's hard to find a better quarterback room in the SEC.
Well, there's certainly what should be a lot of depth there. Unfortunately, the only guy with any significant playing experience is the guy who has no experience in Jimbo Fisher's offense until now. But I feel really good about where they are at quarterback, and I still think it'll be Haynes King, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Max or even Connor Wigman, if he turns out to be that guy that just blows you away from his first practices. But I would not expect that to be the case. I think it'll come down between Haynes and Max. I'm going with Haynes.
What an amazing experience to be in right now, right? Opportunity here, because there was a moment, and it wasn't too long ago, where I was like, I kind of want Connor to take his time being great so we can kind of space out these quarterbacks. And, Haynes has his run, Max is available to pinch hit, and then, we can get to Connor eventually. That's how I thought initially. And you know what? I'm like, screw it. Let the best quarterback play.
Best guy plays. Because
I think Jimbo's going to continue, recruiting the Connor Wegmans of the world. He's going to continue getting the Haynes King. He's going to continue getting these guys. And if a Eli Holstein wants to decommit, fine, we'll find the next guy.
All right.
That's kind of how, but it's maybe it's part of the old battered Aggie syndrome. We have such a great room, and reliving the Kyler Murray situation, where I don't want to have too much at one time and not have Kyle Allen and I trust this guy. Yeah. I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah, completely different. Both quarterbacks are, I'm sure, being told the same thing instead of two different things.
Yeah. That makes a difference.
And the offensive coordinator and the head coach is basically the same guy. So you don't have the head coach has one guy, the offensive coordinator has another. It was just that situation could not have been botched.
This is Q's last home game, legit last home game.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Win or lose, this is it. Because if they win, they go to Madison Square Garden. They lose, they're out.
I was making this comment to OB yesterday. What I have really enjoyed about this part of the run. And by the way, this run is now a third of the season. Right?
Yeah.
Is it what?
Absolutely.
9 of 10, whatever it is. But what I like about this is there was a part where it was just, what is Q going to do to bail us out? Now it's Q's the star, but what is Manny going to do? What is Boots going to do? What is Henry going to do? Like now it's like everybody's got their role, but they can all step up and do big things for this team when needed. Because even during the SEC tournament, you got into foul trouble. They navigated through that.
It's crazy that you mentioned Manny right there, because at the beginning of the season, he was only getting like 2 minutes a game.
And even towards the end, I was like, I don't know if he deserves some of this time he's getting.
Even during the 8-game losing streak, we were talking about, even if he's not ready, just throw him in there and get him some experience. And now it's, hey, he could really help this team win.
Yeah.
Like he's starting. He's a starter on this team now. He may have anywhere from 8 to 18 minutes, and he's going to have a footprint on the game.
Yep.
You know, it's just with him is, can he limit his turnovers? There are some times where he takes some shots and you're like, oh, why'd he take that? But
sure,
you understand that, hey, that's okay. It's the turnovers that have really hurt. And they're not, and it's really all on him. If he slows down or if he focuses a little more, he doesn't have those turnovers. He's playing a little fast.
But he's like Wade in that sense.
Absolutely.
Like there are moments where I'm like, Wade, I need you to get off the court for a few minutes.
Just take a break.
Just drink some water. We'll need you back in a minute.
Absolutely.
And then there's moments like, give this guy the ball every time you can. Because, and that comes with experience and seeing. And so let me ask you this. Should we read into how difficult of a time the SEC has had in the NCAA tournament, or not read into it?
No, I don't think so. I think ultimately, yes. You as a conference, it looks better if your entire conference continues to win and you make it further into the bracket.
Well, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I'm really interested to see tomorrow night when I step out on the court at Reed Arena if Logan Lee's teeth are still implanted in the court. He bit the court one day in practice and had to go to the dentist. And then we practiced, a lot of long hours there when I was with Billy G. And he got his teeth fixed and came back to practice. I was kind of wondering if his teeth were still implanted in the court.
Yeah, my teeth are still there, but I still got the meds, so I'm still feeling good.
Well, you needed some improvement in your looks anyway. It probably helps your teeth. So
hey, happy birthday to you too, Coach. Happy birthday.
Well, I appreciate it. We're not counting birthdays anymore. The best birthday was 50 when I was at Wichita State. We beat Kansas to go to the Sweet 16. That's about the only one I remember, and that was a big one.
So, Coach, I hear you telling your story, and I feel like I'm listening to what Buzz was telling us about his team. Last year, all the COVID issues that they went through, having all these new players come to the team. Both teams, 25 wins. Both teams feel like they should have been in the NCAA tournament, and both teams playing with a chip on their shoulder.
Correct. We got Burger King All-Americans and want to kick McDonald's ass. Those are the type of guys that we have. And, Buzz has been still is, not bad, a tremendous friend to me. And, his wife, Corey, Corey was at Barton County when I was at Barton County. That's how far back. She played there when I was coaching there, and so we have a lot in common in that respect. Buzz helped me get the East Tennessee State head job. He knew Dr. Sander, the athletic director there, who hired me. And so we do have a bond. And I do think our teams reflect each other, how hard they play. And, and it's all about the team and, and those type of things. And so, hopefully we can come down there and play well, and it's hard this time of year. We practiced a lot, you know what I mean? We've been going since June 8th, and I count every practice. And so today's practice number 160. And if you think about that, that's a lot. Plus there's games and pregame practice. So you're probably around 200, and so you got to try to make it a little bit fun for the guys this time as well.
You mentioned the freshmen, Leanna and Caitlin,
right.
170 foot for the first time in the air.
Yep. Both javelin throwers. We got to be a little careful about how many times you throw, and for Coach De La Garza to open those two young ladies up this weekend, and they'll throw again this weekend at Texas Relays. It was a great opener. That's all I can say about it. Great, especially for two freshmen. And we had a young lady set a collegiate record in the 600 meters. Now we don't run a 600 meters very often, but they ran one out there. And Wilson Petit, one of our new half milers, ran 1:28:01, and that's the fastest any collegiate athlete has ever run.
Wow.
So there were some good things happening.
I do want to ask you about the depth there on your relays and how that really builds the success, big picture.
We have some depth with our 4x4s. Our 4x1s, we don't have a lot of depth. That's why we couldn't run on the men's side this weekend. We just don't have enough. I think we will run pretty well on the men's side. But if one person is down, we're just not able to run. We just don't have the depth to do that. I've run some quarter milers on the 4x1, and I thought we were going to be able to run a men's 4x1 this weekend, but it ended up we just couldn't. We should have run one, but we didn't. We just weren't prepared to run one with a quarter miler. So anybody that's been around track knows that you can't just step in and run that relay and run it well. And you take some chances when you do that. So we didn't want to take a chance. We just decided we just weren't going to run it this weekend, and we try to be prepared to run it at Texas this weekend.
I bet you can run a 40 slower than you can tell people what to do. Sam, tell them what to do.
Like, subscribe, rate, comment, share, do it all. And I did that in under 5 seconds.
And you would still be running. And when did you start wearing hats?
I wanted to wear a hat today.
Yeah, I didn't recognize you.
Because I was wearing a hat?
Yeah, I didn't know. You walked in the studio. Who's this new guy? All right, it's TexAgs Rewind. Thank you to T-Mobile.